To yesterday's stream worked amazingly well. Nothing to say about that. And also while doing so, as I said, I'm gonna do something else. Being in need of using my time as well as I can. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing fine. I hope you are in a good mood. A bit of a stressful day, a bit of a stressful situation at this point of time. It's actually really bad point of time for me to record something right now. But still, I do want to do it. And I am gonna do it. So let's talk about design, let's talk about philosophy. Being stressed out. Being stressed out, it is definitely not a great place to be in. Nor is it a great place to be in regarding your productivity. And so on and so forth, because, well, obviously, one is not capable of just being on one's best level if he or she is completely stressed out and is feeling like having so many things to do, just being incapable of kind of transitioning into a less stressful state and whatnot. Like if it is stress in and of itself is something pretty good, pretty amazing, pretty well. Sometimes, from time to time, having certain periods in your life where you just feel the stress, but in the end, this is then more or less some sort of a good stress, and of course, there also are some good stressors, period. Like, I don't know, cold exposure and also warmth exposure or heat exposure and whatnot. And I would actually also argue work stress can actually be pretty beneficial, pretty good, and pretty whatever. It's just what it is, Some people are actually able to do way better when they are stressed. Just a little tiny bit, like not too much. And this is something that I felt as well, have seen as well, and have recognized as well. Being a bit stressed, fine, totally good, totally amazing and whatnot. But, really big but, when it is a constant thing, it is not good. Let's actually side effects of extreme stress. As strange as it actually is, just typing it in, you're gonna get a result really quickly. And this just, shows that. And also by the Cleveland Clinic, which, as far as I remember, is actually a pretty good site regarding the information that you're getting there. And it is insane. I mean, so many people are having to deal with stress. Of course, there are certain techniques, certain things that you can be doing and whatnot to mitigate stress and deal with stress and whatever. But, there are going to be certain periods where this is just not going to work out. So let's actually see. What is stress? Stress is a normal human reaction that happens to everyone. In fact, the human body is designed to experience stress and react to it. When you experience changes or challenges, which is a stressor, your body produces physical and mental responses. That's stress. One of those mental responses which is actually one of the responses that I hate the most, is fucking being an asshole to other people, and my inability seemingly my inability then to deal with people in a way I should. Kind of. Maybe I'm also just stressing it a bit too much, you know. Maybe I'm overdoing it a little tiny bit, which, you know, may definitely be the case, because, you know, in the end, I'm not really being an asshole, but I am just not as nice as I think I should and could be, so to speak. And is it actually, well, quality is fine, but let's do it like this. I guess this is better. Yes, it really is. You know, does it make sense for me to download something right now? Actually, it doesn't. Anyway, what happens to the body during stress? Physical symptoms of stress include aches and pain, chest pain, or a feeling like your heart is racing. I feel that, and I always thought that it is about caffeine, which, you know, both together, probably not the best thing to do. Exhaustion or trouble sleeping, headaches, dizziness, or shaking. I do shake. High blood pressure. I kind of also feel that, you know, when you're just, you know, doing this thing. Often movies actually see it with two fingers, but this is actually not really how you do it. Since I've had a bit of time as a paramedic, still technically am, but I wouldn't consider myself one. Most often you're gonna use three. I don't know if you can see the three fingers like that. You know, having your thumb and going your thumb down up to a certain spot, and if you just press that, you're probably gonna feel it somewhere. Sometimes it's, yeah, there we go. Sometimes they also, I've seen, use four fingers. You know, in the end, basically the more fingers you use, the higher the chance somehow that you're gonna feel something, you know, because the area that you're covering is bigger in the end. So, yeah. Stomach or digestive problems, muscle tension or jaw clenching, trouble having sex, and weak immune system. Stress can lead to emotional and mental symptoms like anxiety or irritability, depression, panic attacks, and sadness. Often people with chronic stress try to manage it with unhealthy behaviors, including drinking alcohol too much or too often, gambling, overeating, or developing an eating disorder, participating in compulsively in sex shopping or internet browsing, smoking, and using other drugs. Yes, if you're doing so, and if you notice that you're doing that, I would heavily advise you to seek a different way to cope with that. I would argue, though, and this is very, basically a very unpopular opinion I'm going to state now. First of all, you should not try to be in such a position too often, because if you notice that you're gonna feel bad and you just, you know, cannot handle stuff anymore and whatnot, well, then this is probably a sign that you just think that you should not be doing that, and that you should, you know, do things differently, you should make things differently, and so on and so forth, just to, even in the first place, prevent yourself from getting into such a position. But if you are able to cope with stress and high stress, which is inevitable, in a way that it basically is only harming yourself, I would argue to some degree that it is at least better compared to when you're just harming somebody else. What I mean is, of course, when you're drinking, when you're smoking heavily and whatnot, just because of the stress, you're basically hurting yourself. But in the end, it is all about you. You know, you're not hurting anybody else, which, you know, of course, is it something that somebody should advise? No, definitely not. It's not a good thing. It should not be the case. You know, you should not be in such a position even. But still, I mean, it's what it is. You know, then it is quite all about the least bad thing, you know, and the least bad thing in this situation definitely is just harming yourself and not somebody else. Of course, the best way to do so is, okay, there we go. This is really interesting. The best thing is, this does not make too much sense, to be honest. Whatever. The best thing is not to be in such a position and coping with these things in a way that is not harming anybody, it's not doing anything, and so on and so forth. Period. But of course, obviously, things are how they are. Stress can occur. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. And well, in the end, as I said, it is about, you know, what is the least bad thing that you can do, basically. What is going on now? I do really hope that this is going to be fine. Really, really hope. Well, anyway, let's actually see what they're also writing there, because apparently this, you know, maybe it's not working like I wanted to. Well, it is, kind of. Did I fuck it up? I don't know, I guess I don't. Or I didn't. Well, actually, let's just have a look at things and how things are and how things should be done. File open recent. Which one is it? That one, I guess. Yeah. Should be this one, but for whatever reason, like, it doesn't make any sense, does it? You know, it's always a great thing if you're having multiple files and you consciously and on purpose decide to structure certain files in a certain way so that you do not have to deal with anything fucked up. You know? But yeah, of course, you know, it's what it is. But let's just do the work. Let's just do the things. I do wonder though what is selected right here. And how I even did it. How did I do it? I guess like that, didn't I? Well, I guess so. I do guess so, but in the first place I gotta have to change a few things, you know, change a few things that I initially already have changed because I knew that things wouldn't work like that and stuff, and however, and blah blah blah. But apparently this also does really not work for whatever reason. I don't understand. This is how things should be. Oh my god, it's just a pain in the ass sometimes. You know, it's just a pain in the ass sometimes to work with certain software. Yeah, let's save this shit. Very, very, very fucked up thing from time to time. But stress. What are some strategies for stress relief? Exercise. Yes, at the end of each day, take a moment to think about what you've accomplished, set goals for your day, consider talking to a therapist. Yeah, I think stress is, I don't know, like, I guess we all need to learn how to deal with it. You know, we somehow all are, and now all of a sudden it works. such a motherfucking piece of shit. It is insane. It is insane. Please just be alright. And I don't even, I mean, yeah, of course, you stupid motherfucker. Let me see. It's black. Then I'll also have to make sure that, yeah. But everything else is turned off. Well, the funny thing, one single thing does not work the way I want it to. Everything else is already set in place like I initially did it. Because I knew, that I am gonna have to do it like that. I just wanted to make my life way easier beforehand. But apparently, things are just fucked up at this point in time. And so I'll have to redo it again. Amazing. Just really fucking amazing. It's always nice to have that. There's nothing better than knowing that the work that you do is just unnecessary in the end anyways. That's just great. That's just so amazing. Can this even be the case? No. Let's do it correctly. Dealing with stress, doing stress, being stressed. Well, what should I say about it? It is something that we all have to experience, have to know, have to deal with. No objects added to the... Are you fucking dumb? Apparently, yes. Uh-huh. Why? Uh-huh. Okay. That is fairly interesting. I guess this was that. This is gonna be set to this, I guess. Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do this shit, Still working on the exact same thing as I did yesterday. And this should be... What if this is 0? Ah, yeah, alright. Yeah, this is how I wanted things to be. But still, do I have to change it to something else? This is interesting. This is really interesting. I mean, I'm just realizing something that's actually really important, I guess. I do want to emphasize the I guess, because I don't know. The question is, does it change something when I change this? Well, it does. It really does. The question now is, no, I'm gonna use the other one, I guess. I'm gonna use this one, but no need for this shit. No need for that shit. Why does everything always have to be so complicated? Sometimes I really feel like, my life is just not doing any favors. For whatever reason. But I don't know if this is... Since it looks hella shit, to be honest. Should be fine, I guess. Should be, yeah. Things should be fine. Things are always going to be fine in the end. And with that being said, I'm going to end the stream.